Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Mel. My question is about just the word sin in general.
Yes.
So if I'm to take the next step and feel the sin emotionally,
Yeah.
I'm kind of blocked on just the word because it comes with a lot of feelings that I'm a sinner or a lot of judgment.
You feel judged.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just that word
So that's
triggering.
just another emotion that you're going to have to deal with, isn't it? This feeling of being judged. Yeah. Jesus wants to say.
Yeah, can I point out some really important things that you're completely skipping over? Firstly, you are being judged by God, by God's laws. As soon as you sin, you are being judged by God. It should have a feeling of guilt associated with it. That's the reality. When it's a real sin, it should have a feeling of guilt associated because your conscience is pricking you. You've got all sorts of things going on. So this is why the word sin is such a powerful word, because it connotates what it needs to connotate, and that is that from God's perspective, God's laws have judged you and found you to miss the mark of love. And also, God's laws are now trying to correct you, right? So there will be also a compensatory effect, a feeling inside of your soul that begins where you go, wow, I am a sinner. You are a sinner. That's reality. Every single person here is a sinner. In the first century, I used the term frequently because every single person is a sinner. Until they become perfected in love, you will remain a sinner, a person who purposefully chooses or inadvertently chooses to take unloving actions. So get used to the word. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And the truth is, God created a whole law to help us feel the sin. It's called the law of compensation. It's operating on your soul constantly. And this is how entrenched we get in addictions. We work so hard in addictions as to become completely desensitized to the sin that we're committing. Now that's a lot of use of will. Imagine if we could harness that and use it to love. You know, we are so entrenched in addiction that we don't even feel it's a sin. And yet God has a whole law operating every time we take an action out of harmony with love. Boom. There it is. A lot of you can relate to this as kids. You felt this sometimes, didn't you? Oh, I did something not nice. You know, you felt it. Internally, oh. And sometimes you still feel it. But a lot of times, you've shut down that sense of this sin. And this is the work to do. This is exactly what I'm saying. When you acknowledge the addiction exists and feel it as a sin, you are tuning into the law of compensation. It's a good thing to do. You're more in harmony with one of God's laws, darling.
I think the thing we need to do, though, is make sure that we understand that just because we are a sinner at that moment, that it doesn't mean that our real self, our final being, if you like, the person we will become, is always going to be a sinner. So this is where I feel the damage has been done by religion, because they teach you that you're always a sinner, that there is never a process of perfection that will result. And this is where we need to make the distinction. We are not always a sinner because we have the ability to become perfected in love and therefore never sin again.
And this is part of what you're referring to, isn't it, Mel? This feeling that you will have to work through, that has been placed upon you, that you are inherently bad. Yeah, yeah. But the key is to work through that emotion, not resist the idea of sin. Do you see? Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, guys, do you know what? It's 3:55, which is dinner time.